Hello, humans. Are you there? Hello, nice to meet you. It's Cuckoo, and here's a new video for you. I've been preparing and working with kids this last week, and the week before that preparing. And I've had a workshop where I introduced synthesizers and electronic music equipment to local kids here where I live. I live very, I wouldn't say off-grid, but very remote in a very rural fjord area of Norway. I like it very much here, but it's not like a lot of stuff to do for the kids and the youngsters. And so it's very much about sports, and that's fine, that's good. But this week, the cultural school and the municipality, they kind of organized a little workshop week. So for 3 days after school, we had 3 workshops going on. Music, electronic music, a room with how many? Like 7 stations, I think, with stuff ranging from professional big keyboards like the Norway 2, and then a little bit more accessible stuff like the Korg Wave State, and then even more accessible stuff, more in the sequencer stuff like the KO2 and pocket operators. And I brought some Electron machines to show them, and then a vocal table with a microphone, preamp, some effects. That was my room. And then we had a cooking room, and we had a guest from Tanzania, and she was really great. And then we had a makeup artist, my friend Egil Olsen. He's a legendary singer-songwriter in Norway, but he's also a makeup artist. So he taught the kids about how to make wounds and how to create a monster out of yourself, and that was really, really popular. So we had these 3 workshops going on every day for 3 days. And so after school, they came to the workshop, had a little snack, and off we went for 3 hours, I think. The takeaway from me is how enriching this felt. At least from me, I'm observing how I think it felt for the kids, because the mood was very festive. It was very, very warm, and they were coming together, and we're not like super strict about you need to do this task. It wasn't a school. This was an after-school activity, and a way for them to kind of get in touch with stuff like this. Electronic music devices, professional stuff, also accessible stuff, cooking from another part of the world, and theatre and stage makeup. Yeah, it was really, really nice. So if I'm zooming in on my part, maybe my part was the most kind of problematic, because it wasn't like a clear step-by-step. Everyone wasn't there to learn one machine. It was like a palette of possibilities, and I tried to make sure that everyone could at least experience some of it, and then I'll kind of explain a little bit here and there and see if I could get them to dig a little deeper. And these kids were between 12 to 15, and unfortunately, I'd say, the whole setup was in the same room as a computer gaming room. So I had little experiences with the electronic music instrument, and then they kind of, one by one, kind of ended up by the computers trying to run some games. And since this was more of an after-school social activity, I let that kind of happen, and then we also let the kids mingle a little bit, kind of go into each other's rooms and see what they're doing. So some of my kids, they went to the makeup room and got like some really nasty wounds made, and they came back, and it was just a really, really nice vibe overall. I was really pleased with how it turned out. Having said that, a person like me is always hoping that there's be a room full of very, very attentive kids, and like asking to, how do I do this? And while that might happen once in a while, you cannot count on that to happen every time, or at all, actually. So lower your, I wouldn't say expectations, but it's not for me to push them in this scenario. I don't want to push anyone and be strict in this scenario. Maybe in like a more school course scenario. Let's say we had a whole semester with 2 times a week, and then we have one machine, one to learn. And then we could progressively kind of introduce more and more things. But here, it's just be very chill, see where they're at, like both mentally and both like, are they enjoying themselves, are they having fun in this context. I think that was more the takeaway. Like, let them have a good time after school and mingle together and be exposed to some interesting gear, interesting cultural things, enriching their kind of everyday life in a way that they don't have every day here. And especially here in the countryside, you can't go into a music school and learn orchestral percussion, or go to the music school and learn like electronic synthesizer programming, because it's such a small place. So that doesn't happen on the countryside. But I'm here, so now it might happen here once in a while. I'm not a full-time teacher, I'm not planning to be, but once in a while a workshop like this makes a lot of sense, and it's super fun. So I want to show you some of my setups, so the tables that I prepared. First of all, let's just show you the actual tables. And I partnered up with Thomann for this. Thomann, they chipped in, like they covered half of the expenses of the stuff that I invested in. So we bought 10 keyboard stands and 5 keyboard stands trays, which you put them on there to have more like tabletop devices, such as a Digitact or a Digitone and a small pocket operator stuff. And also these little star-shaped splitters where you can put the sound into here and then split the sound into several. So I bought 10 of those so that in a teacher scenario, you can have the audio here and then many, like both the teachers and several kids can listen at the same time. And that turned out to work really, really well. And then I bought like 10 jack to mini jack converters, plugs, and just to be prepared. And then something that I thought was very important was to get good headsets, because in the gaming room where this was happening, they had like gaming headsets, but they were really bad. They were very thin, cheap headsets with a thin sound profile. It's not, if they get like a first experience with some audio production with bad headsets, it's not going to be fun. They're not going to get into it. They're not going to feel the vibe at all. So I scouted the Thomann shop and I found one pair of headsets that I thought were interesting. It's from Thommann's own brand, the T-Bone. Is it just T? I got it here. Let's check it out. The T-Bone. I read about these headsets and thinking they were so cheap, incredibly cheap, and no way they can be good. And then I started reading the reviews, and there were no bad reviews. I think for this extremely low price, how can the reviews be unanimously good? So I thought like this was probably a really, really good headset for education. So I got it, and it turned out it's really good. It sounds surprisingly good. At that low price, it was around €35 or something like that. The T-Bone HD 815. I mean, These are my favorite headsets. Biodynamics DT700 Pro X. These are the ones that I'm really accustomed to, and they sound really good. They don't live up to that kind of quality, but these are not like crazy expensive. They're expensive and high end, but it's like in the mid range of high end headphones. These, they cost like something that just comes with the product. It's really weird, and it sounds really good. It sounds very good. Rich bass, big sound, fat sound, and they're closed. So I can recommend this for education, especially for education. It sounds impressive. Let's say you have a studio and you're going to record an orchestra and you need 10 headsets for the musicians. Well, maybe you can get some of these if you're short on money. It'll be good. Then I scouted the whole webpage for the perfect stand. Also, bearing in mind that I want to keep the price down because the municipality don't have that much money to invest in this. But I found a good keyboard stand and a good tray. Right, so I went for this. It's a brand called Roadworks. You never know with these cheaper brands if this is Thomann's own brand. I don't know. Maybe it is. And it's really difficult to find any information about it, but very good, kind of sturdy stand. And I opted for a stand which you screw up like this, and then there's a zigzag lock here, and then you tighten it like that. Because I felt like these very cheap one that you just open like this and then close like this, they feel a little bit brittle. So I think especially for education, that will probably break at some point, whereas this feels more sturdy. It's a screw, you screw it in and out, and you tighten it, and yeah, I'm not disappointed. And then we got this tray. This tray, it's called On Stage utility tray or something like that, and it's a steel tray, I think, very heavy, very durable. And then here you have this sliding construction, so you can make it really tight around the keyboard stand. What I, however, got a little bit wrong was I misread the depth of this and the depth of this. So it didn't really fit at first. But then, shout out to my girlfriend's cousin. He helped me sew these like so, so that they now fit very snug in here. So shout out to Ole Andrea, you're a legend. Yeah, so that's the main gear that I bought for the workshop, and this gear is going to the music school, and it's going to be with them. So whenever they have keyboards and the music lessons, they have good stands now and good headsets for the music education, which is really great. So next up, I want to show you how I packed. Maybe it's like super boring, but to me, packing is an art form in itself, to be honest. If you're gonna pack stuff in a way that you can quickly set it up and quickly bring it back. And I mean, this was gonna be up for 3 days, and then I'm gonna pack it down. So I wasn't in a hurry. But if you're traveling and you're doing this kind of workshop, one day here and the next day on another school, then suddenly it becomes really important that you have like a very structured way of packing. So let's see how I packed one of the bags, the two. Let's start with this one. Right, so this one is an analog cases. What's it called again? Unison Performance case, maybe, I'm not sure. It's a very nice and lightweight, sturdy case. I'm using it especially when I'm traveling for gigs. So it's this construction where you can take off the lid like so. It just hooks onto it. Usually, if it's like a tabletop setup, this is a really nice way to pack it. And then I put like some foam and stuff, just push it down and keep it in place. And here we go. Everything is ready to go. Just pop in the power, pop in the mic, and ready to go. So in this case, this is what I had. Microphone coming in here in this very high-end preamp. It's a preamp EQ and channel strip kind of. You can gain it and distort it in the analog domain. This is totally analog. It's kind of a Neve preamp channel strip by JHS pedals. Very good. It's a really good on-the-go mic preamp channel strip. So if you're into that, I can recommend this. It solves everything. And if you want just a tad of distortion on your vocals, it distorts beautifully in the vocal, especially on vocals. And then it has a little high pass filter here. Just by turning it on, it clears out the rumbling, like these frequencies. It's a very good one. And then it goes into compressor. I wanted to teach the kids about what a compressor does to sound, evening out volume bumps and stuff. And it's kind of went a little bit over the head, but they tried stuff and they really enjoyed taking it to the crazy levels. And I mean, if they got a kick out of that, it's fun. Playing with sound is fun. So, and then I put it into this one, the lossy. I thought, like, what should I put in there that is totally bonkers? And I put the lossy in there. Basically, it's like a bad reception old phone or package loss in MP3 playback kind of distortion pedal. It's weird. It's very weird. They enjoyed it immensely. Again, liking to take it to totally distorted land. And then I wanted to have a clean delay. I have 2 delays, but this is the cleanest that I have. And it's the Strymon Dig. And it's fun because it has 2 delay lines and they could get out of sync. And so they had a lot of fun with that. And then bring it into a reverb. In this case, the Empress Effects reverb. Very cool reverb. I wanted to have a reverb that wasn't just like super smooth and nice, but this can go a little bonkers, and there's a lot of settings and weird reverbs. Again, the kids, they enjoyed to take it to totally distorted territories. And for this, the output is a little low, so it can't go straight to the headphones. I put a little mixer in here, the Bastel Bestie, very good analog mixer. And then taking the sound out into this little splitter. And I had to say, like, this was where the kids gathered the most, because manipulating your voice and having fun with it is so immediate. And I had a lot of fun with that. So this great little setup, and also a great way to pack, because everything is ready to go. Just take it out, and and you can see the Strymon OJ. It's just a powering solution. It's just really convenient to have everything set up and just boom, take off the lid, ready to go. I've been using this for about a year or so for when I'm traveling and playing. So I'm doing sometimes. It's just really nice to have everything in place, pop off the lid, and just plug it in, and you're ready to go. Can recommend. So if you can do it like that, just everything just ready to go, take it out, plug it in, ready to go. Pack like that, because that is going to be such a nice time saver. I've done that kind of stuff for about 300 concerts earlier in my career, when I was working more as a live visuals artist. And the rigging is the heavy part of the job. I mean, being on stage is kind of draining in a very different way. But if you can make the rigging process convenient, that's going to save so much energy that you can spend on the actual gig or the workshop. So yeah, my advice. So what else? Yeah, as you can see over here, I've got a lot of keyboard bags like this one. I bought this to bring a synthesizer from Oslo to here, but in this case I'm packing it for the workshop, so all sorts of stuff here. I think a 49 keys wide keyboard bag, that is kind of the sweet spot for me when I'm packing stuff. So this one, I just packed it to the max with, let's see, these are the pocket operators in a little hard case, kind of a laptop case, small laptop case. Just again, to make it really convenient for myself, take it off like that, and there they are, ready to go, in a way that they kind of stay flat and just make it easy for yourself. Pocket operators are really difficult to pack because they have this wonky shape and they kind of get tangled in each other, so it's a little bit wonky. Here is a bag of spare cables, also a little mixer. It's a laptop case. I use laptop cases that have like a really good sturdy form factor. It's really good. Here, this particular case has some really nice paddings for keeping stuff in place. So here I've got the Synth and the did.a 2. Trying to make it convenient and also solve some little issues, like I don't want them to be side by side and creating kind of scratches, so I put this little microfiber bag between them, so it's not making any scratches. Recorder, here is a Mega FM, keyboard and a KO2. So in this case it needed a little bit more rigging afterwards. It's not like just open it up and it's ready to go. So this is a little bit more janky, but really enjoy these types of soft bags. The bag itself feels sturdy, but it weighs next to nothing. If the bag is heavy in itself, that means it's going to be really heavy to lug around once you have stuff in it, but this is super lightweight. So usually in the lid I keep power adapters. Music area cases, I can recommend this. It feels really nice. I've never heard of it before, and I said that in the music store, and they told me that, oh, you haven't. This is actually one of my major supplier of gig bags. But not going to go through everything, but my group had 4 people, so it was very chill, and the other groups had around 8 to 10 or maybe 12 one day. So all in all we were about 25 people, I think, and just youngsters going back and forth and having fun. So all in all, we had a wonderful couple of days with the youngsters, and I'd encourage you to do stuff like this if you live, especially in a rural kind of territory where stuff like this doesn't happen much. The next generation, they need a little cultural input of various ways. So I'm really happy I did this. I usually don't do stuff like this, but in this case it felt really natural because it's stuff that I care about myself and also think is fun. So yeah, maybe I'll do more of this in the future. So my big takeaway here is, when presenting a lot of different stuff at the same time, I had 7 tables with various things. There was no way I was gonna keep track of everyone's progression and make them kind of go dig deeper on their own. So, and I didn't want to push that expectations upon them. I wanted to to just be there and show them this stuff and hope that they could at least spend some time with some of the stuff and get a little interested maybe down the line. And yeah, I think we did just that. Yeah, so that was a little bit of an unusual video for me, just telling you a little bit about what I've been up to the last 2 weeks. And so I hope you enjoyed that. For me, I really enjoyed it. And also, when setting up a workshop, so much time goes into it beforehand. Synthesizer, drum machine, the vocal corner, synthesizer. Where you're starting planning, what type of gear, how do I present, what should I present, what stands should I use and stuff like that. And in the end, I think, as you can see in the photos, I think I did a good presentation, and I would have loved to come to a place like that. When I was a kid, I was super interested in keyboards, so I would have just dived super deep into everything. Yeah, hope you appreciate this little peek into some related but other things that I also do on the side of this YouTube channel. And if you enjoy the stuff that I do here on YouTube, please consider throwing in some donation over at my Patreon. That helps tremendously. So thank you everyone who does that. You know who you are, and I love you all because thank you. And also, buying stuff off of my web store also helps a great deal. So thank you for doing that as well. All right. I'm going to end it there. And Super Booth is coming up. I'm just going to mention that because Super Booth is a time where I'm going to Berlin, meeting lots of people. Please come there. It's a wonderful place to check out new electronic musical gear as grown-ups, but it's kids friendly, so you can bring your kids as well. And yeah, I might play a little gig at one of the booths there. They have a little stage, so it's pretty much confirmed, but I won't spill it until it's like 100% confirmed. So please come to Berlin in May and check out Super Booth and meet me there and a lot of like-minded people. It's going to be there. Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, that's it for today. Thank you all for hanging out, and see you soon.